Hello and welcome to another ContinuousX episode where we search for X in the SDLC equation. Our guest for this episode is Jim Edmonds. Jim is the product manager for Kessel Run's Dagr application, an operational unit intelligence application. We'll discuss that app in more detail in a subsequent session, but for now, Jim, welcome.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, terrific. Well, as you know, Kessel Run is considered a significant DevSecOps transformational effort, specifically in the Air Force, but across the DoD, delivering combat capabilities via a software factory. But DevSecOps is not just about tools. Can you explain how Kessel Run sees the difference between DevSecOps and their software factory and how they coincide?
Yeah, that's a good question, Rick. And there's definitely a discrepancy. I think when people think of software factories, they think of a place where software developers can come in and do work. You know, you're given the ability and the tools and the facilities to conduct software development. Period. Stop. Right. That's kind of what happens there. DevSecOps is not that. It's part of that, but it's a lot more. And one of the things I'm really happy with is that with the Dagr app, we're really part of a DevSecOps unit, not a software factory. And I'll get what I mean by that. You know, first of all, Kessel Run is indeed a military unit. And with my 34 years in the military, units have special mission requirements, mission tasking, and roles and responsibilities. So a unit is really dedicated to a certain kind of mission. So a software factory is just where something gets done. A DevSecOps unit is trying to accomplish a mission. So what is it trying to do? Well, the dev part of it kind of gets the software factory aspect to your question. You know, the dev is what I do as a product team. I lead a product team in the design, the development, the testing, all the type of things that make an application user-friendly and usable for the mission that it's going to be doing. So in that aspect, the dev piece is very much a software factory. But then there's a lot more. The sec part of it, the security, is something that is vitally important and not necessarily included in a software factory. We at Kessel Run and as an application developer within Dagr, yes, we develop the software, but every step of the way, we're on a pipeline, a very extensive and complete pipeline of security scans. My code, my software goes through 5 different types of scans every day, all the time. It identifies any kind of vulnerabilities, it fixes them. I'm assigned a dedicated information assurance team that accompanies and works with my product team to make sure that all the tasks that we need to do to be compliant with the security of the pipeline are adhered to. So I get as many tasks from them as I get from users sometimes, and they're important ones. So you're developing software, you're making it secure, you have teams that help you do that within this pipeline. But then the last part is the ops. And you know, as a career airman and now a naval civilian, I'm really proud of being part of Kessel Run because the focus on ops. The mission for this DevSecOps unit, if you will, is command and control of air power, you know, on behalf of the United States Air Force and the nation. So we build capabilities, war-winning software, as the commander likes to say, on behalf of airmen, sailors, soldiers, Marine, anyone that's employing air power being applied in a joint fight. So our apps are focused on supporting those warfighters. And wherever they're at, what they're doing, it's our job to not only develop tools in a factory, but secure it, make sure it operates on operational networks with no vulnerabilities, and that it meets the mission requirement.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the mission. We're just a means to accomplishing the mission. So we focus very much on addressing that mission through a secure environment and creating great capability. So I think that's what's really different about a DevSecOps unit as opposed to a software factory, which is a place where you can conduct software development and design.
I think the factory includes that security hardening though as well. That pipeline is part of the factory. But again, to your meta point, you need that software factory and the security hardening is just to support the team, and it's the team that's carrying out the mission in the DevSecOps.
Absolutely, and a lot of the software factories do in fact offer you different levels of security within ours. You're not looking at just unclassified or military unclassified NIPRNet, but also secret and higher levels, right? So it's the level of security in addition to providing security, right?
I think as a product manager, Jim, and safe to say, the factory takes away all those automated processes that you would normally have to consider when you're putting a product together. And when it's built in to your processes using your quite capable people, from a product perspective, you can focus on the capabilities, the features of the app without regard to or knowing those safeguards are already implanted.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. I would just even take that a little bit step further. Because we're able to do that, the beneficiary is the user. Because knowing that those things are being done while you're building the software are different from the days of waterfall development, where a lot of the design development took place, did OT, DT, and then you would deploy it, and maybe security was, an afterthought, or maybe, so it's back to the drawing board. It's back fixing those type things. Having it as a continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous security scans really helps at the end of the day, the user, because they know something's not going to be taken away from them. It's going to be provided continually. They know it's secure. They know they can rely on it. And it's a much better way of doing business. I think they've really cracked the nut on that.
Well, Jim, you really wrapped up our ContinuousX.
You plugged our podcast very well there.
with that last statement, so I appreciate it. So thanks to our listeners. Stay tuned for more conversation with Jim in subsequent episodes as we search for X in the SDLC equation.